Okay, so what are we going to talk about today?
Well, what I'd like to talk about, I think, is AI or artificial intelligence, because all the time, radio, TV, podcasts, everything, it's all people are talking about. People come up to me and just say, "You don't realise how important AI is." And yeah, I'm sure it's something, and I've used ChatGPT 4, and I've used other things, and I can see it's kind of a powerful tool, but I suppose what I'm concerned about is I think maybe it's being exaggerated by the producers of AI. And actually, how different is it to anything that we had before? And will it really bring about this revolution? Or is it a way of getting us to prepare for something else? I don't know.
Okay, well, suppose are you basing a lot of that knowledge just off of ChatGPT? Because there's
Yeah,
different.
yeah. I'm basing some of the knowledge on ChatGPT, but also I mean, I'm aware that like there's a lot of machine learning because that's the thing. What you notice if you listen to the radio or TV or anything, people talk about AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, and basically, as far as I can see, perhaps I'm wrong, they're more or less the same thing. But machine learning is a way of not getting you alarmed. It's just like machines understanding, doing calculations, complex calculations, finding out and producing results. AI is kind of meant to be something more. Maybe it is, but I think in a way it's just it's another name for machine learning. Machine learning doesn't sound so threatening. Artificial intelligence sounds a bit sinister.
So what do we actually think that? What do we think that AI actually is? Artificial intelligence, but we can you and myself
Mm.
elaborate on what artificial intelligence is?
Okay, well, as far as I can understand, artificial intelligence is machines given data being able to think several steps ahead. So they not only collect data, make a calculation, but on the basis of that calculation, they make another calculation and extrapolate, and that enables them to reach quite complex uh,
So
solutions.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think they work pretty similar actually to a human brain. Um, they but basically it's just like it's, it's the same way. What would you if you wanted to learn something about a book?
Read it.
You could read the book,
Uh, uh,
and the Chat GPT can well and other AIs
mm-hmm.
they could they can just learn that way faster because they're
Yeah,
like a
but they
machine.
okay. The machine
But
can read a book because all
yeah,
the
because
text is there.
they can get to any part of the
Uh,
internet,
but yeah, they
any
can do it.
everywhere,
Okay,
and they
they
can. It's like if I learn um, knowledge about I don't know general knowledge for if I was going to be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, I'd go and read all the books. But is that right?
yeah, I
Like
suppose
AI, it
yeah.
could just learn it like that.
Yeah, it could, but I mean, in what sense does it learn it? It just
It
learns,
just consumes it.
yeah, just consumes it and learns, so it just gives kind of answers. But can it go beyond that, which is the whole point of AI?
Yes, I think it can because it
Mm.
can learn, can it?
Mm. Yeah, it can learn. It can learn
Because
to.
there's another thing that I think about. Um, People think what's intelligence, and some people think like knowing a lot of facts means you're intelligent.
Mm.
But I mean, in a way, anyone can just learn loads of facts. But you might not be using your imagination. So if you said like, can you do this? Can you build this machine? This is a bit random, but like you say, okay, that's good. Can I have the instructions manual on how to create this machine? No, you can't, and you've just got to create a machine. No, I'm just saying, like you know that guy on maths. He had to have like you thought he was kind of like he needed
to be told,
to be told everything, like
everything's right or wrong.
Everything's right or wrong.
You can do everything, but there is a book. If you look for it, there isn't a correct way to do everything.
And
you can do it right and you can do it wrong, and it's better to listen to what the correct thing is rather than having your own opinions.
Yeah, that's kind of basically what I mean. But I think people that are really intelligent actually just can learn a lot of things themselves and create something someone hasn't created before.
I mean, I suppose the question is if AI left to itself, no humans, would it do anything? Probably not.
Yes.
That's one question.
I think it would. I think it would.
What?
Because AI is it's designed to like to learn new skills.
But where does it learn these from? Where?
Yeah, I think it learns from the internet, but it can teach itself.
Yeah, but let's supposing nobody's putting any new information on the internet. Will it learn then?
Yes, because I think it can learn how to put things together in the same way that like a human mind could. Give an example of that. Yeah. That's pretty hard.
You see, can we just step back a minute? You're talking all about is what AI can and can't do, but I think it's worth just thinking, using your intuition and thinking about this. We're being told this all about AI. AI can solve all our problems. It can do everything. AI is also a real threat to us. But is it really that radical? Is it really any that different from a pocket calculator? Admittedly, quite a complex pocket calculator.
Yes.
Yeah, but
because the thing is
Jamie's just about to come
basically, I think what you think AI is basically what's been around for like 40 years, which is just the internet, which you can just search and you can just find something. But what's unique about artificial intelligence is it can like it's a bit like imagination, isn't it? It can learn how like a disease. It could figure out how to cure the disease from like.
Well, no. All it can do is it can process, as far as I understand, it can process billions of different scenarios and test them out. That's something that would take a human a lot longer to do, but it's not necessarily being any more sophisticated. It's just doing things faster because it doesn't get bored, basically, and it can just carry on indefinitely.
Okay.
Need a pause now.
Okay, pause. Okay, so we now got my brother on the podcast, and we got the boomer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Mic check. Am I working?
Yeah. Okay. Good. I don't know why we need these if AI is so clever. We wouldn't have to have a microphone.
Well, how do you define clever then?
Clever.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Intelligence. Well, there's artificial intelligence, which is, I suppose, what machines have in some people. True intelligence, maybe, or maybe you're looking at it.
So is an artist more intelligent than a mathematician, and more intelligent than a historian or a fireman or a footballer?
No, you can be a stupid footballer, and an intelligent footballer is not based on what you do.
So what makes you intelligent? Just competency in that one specific thing?
No.
So what is intelligence?
Well, look at me. I mean, intelligence is based on knowing better than anybody else what to do in a given situation.
Well, is it intelligence about knowing what to do in a given situation?
Yeah.
And in any given situation?
Yeah.
Because, for example, I think Cristiano Ronaldo knows very well what to do in a very specific set of situations. But then, like, Elon Musk maybe knows better what to do in certain business and technical situations.
Maybe he does.
What does it mean to say that one is more intelligent than the other?
Well, one can do a job quite well. Ronaldo can do football quite well. Mr. Musk can do.
Yeah. So by your definition of
Whatever he does.
intelligence,
Yeah.
where does that leave the relative intelligence of one and the other?
Relative intelligence.
By your definition of intelligence, it just sounds like.
Well, I'd just have to write them a little test, wouldn't I? See who.
Yeah. How would that test go?
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
Okay.
Yes.
Where do you think IQ goes into intelligence? Where do you think that?
IQ tests.
Yeah.
I think IQ test is just another thing you can be good or bad at. Like you can be good at bad on maths or good or bad at football.
Yeah.
I don't really see it any different. It's just another task you can optimize for, which will have a component in genetics and also like habituation, practice, learning effect. Like I just see it as another task, and they happen to have they happen to call it IQ, but you could call a history test an IQ test. You could call a tennis match an IQ test.
Okay, I get it. So here's a question. Do you think that someone with a low IQ is unintelligent?
I just answered that.
No. But say I had an IQ of 25. Do you think that would mean that I'm unintelligent if I had a really low
I think
IQ?
literally all that means is you scored 25 on the IQ test when you did it.
Okay.
You'd score differently if you did it last week.
Okay.
If you did it the week before.
Okay. Now, what's your opinion, Boomer, on whether suppose I had a really low IQ? Do you think that would mean that I'm unintelligent?
It depends how much like me you are. I mean, if you're like me, obviously you're very intelligent. But obviously there must be some people with low IQs that aren't like me, and therefore.
Do you believe in neuroplasticity, Boomer?
Neuroplasticity, yeah, to a certain extent.
Yeah. So is it possible that in all your wisdom you've perhaps become complacent and lost IQ points?
Hang on. Can I ask what is neuroplasticity? Because I think some people in the audience might not know what. Yeah, they might not know what that is, just like me, because I don't know what that is.
So AI, from my understanding, wouldn't be neuroplastic. A neuroplasticity is the idea that your brain, just like your muscles and your bones, it adapts to stimulus and it can change. So you can by thinking different things and doing different things, your brain changes in response to that. So you could become like part of in learning a language, for example, your brain is actually changing. In like doing meditation, your brain is actually changing over time. You're making, just like If you go to the gym, that can change your muscles in response to a stimulus.
So, do you think muscle memory, like me being good at juggling, do you think that's changing my neural connections in a similar way to muscle building?
Yeah, you're making neural connections. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Skill acquisition is an example of neuroplasticity at work.
Okay, so are they physically being made?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Physical
Yeah.
connections in your brain.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And with like the neurons that make connections between your neuromuscular connections between your brain and your muscles.
Okay.
This is how you get stronger without hypertrophy, is by neuromuscular adaptation.
And what's hypertrophy?
Hypertrophy is your muscles getting bigger.
Yeah.
But most of why if you do sprinting is getting better about like neuromuscular connections, just like getting stronger.
Yeah.
Power stuff is about neuromuscular connections.
And I think there's a bit of that with weightlifting and strength training.
That's just exactly what I said.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's simplified a bit for the audience. Okay, so
they're not all as intelligent as me. See, hi.
What was that?
They're not all as intelligent as me.
So back to my question, Boomer. Given that you believe in neuroplasticity and you've established neuroplasticity as a valid and very much potent concept, could it be possible that in all your lethargy and complacency, you've perhaps become less, by your definition,
Neuro-rigid, you mean?
Neuro-rigid.
Neuro-rigid.
Have you become like
instead of neuro-jelly,
neuro-calcified,
neuro-strong? What is a human without a skeleton?
Neuro-stale.
A lump of jelly. What is a head and a brain without a skull? A lump of jelly. So I think what I represent really is neuro strength. The strength of real intelligence. Artificial intelligence is what machines think they have. A lot of people think they have it.
So do you think AI is neuro-rigid like you?
I think AI is trying to be neuro-rigid. It's trying to be strong.
Yeah.
But the weakness is it's always trying to learn. And in that process of learning, it becomes jelly-like, plastic, jelly-like.
So why
dissolves.
is it bad to be like that?
Who would win in a race between a cheetah and a jellyfish on the road? Who would win? Come on, answer.
I'd imagine the cheetah would win.
Yeah. What would the jelly do? The neuroplastic jelly.
I think the jelly would die because it would suffocate.
Yeah.
And because they're made mostly of water, they'd lose all their water and die.
Would dehydrate.
Yeah.
So let's take an animal that.
Although I think cheetahs are neuroplastic themselves.
Yeah, but not as neuroplastic as a jelly.
Well, I don't think a jellyfish is neuroplastic because it doesn't have any neurons. It hasn't got a brain.
I think that's very, very presumptuous of you. Do you actually even know how a jellyfish thinks?
No, jellyfish actually don't have a brain. That's a fact. So,
so I think your kind of argument's a bit flawed there.
What have you got to say about that?
Well, no, I'm
as
just
an animal, they're about as close as you get to a plant.